Are you ever in a great conversation in English and someone asks how you are and you just freeze? You say, I'm fine, but you feel so much more. Happiness, worry, excitement, and the words just don't come out right. It feels like you're not showing people who you really are. Like there's a wall between the real you and the English-speaking you. Maybe you feel a bit robotic, or like you just can't connect with people on a deeper level. You want to share your joy, explain what's frustrating you, or just be honest about a tough day, but you're stuck with good, bad, and okay. Well, that's exactly what we're going to fix today. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Learn and Speak Easy English. I'm Michael, and my goal is to make your English feel less like a textbook and more like chatting with a friend.
And I'm Lucy. That feeling Michael just described is so common, isn't it? You have this rich inner world full of complex emotions, but it feels like your English vocabulary hasn't caught up. It's so frustrating.
Exactly. But today's a big day. By the end of this lesson, you'll have a whole new set of authentic, natural English phrases to talk about how you're really feeling. We're not just talking about vocabulary. We're talking about sounding more like the real you.
That's the promise. We're going to walk you through 5 key emotional categories, packed with phrases that native speakers use every single day. We'll break them down, give you tons of examples, and practice them together so they actually stick. Ready to stop saying, I'm fine, forever?
Let's get into it. Let's kick things off with the best feeling, happiness. But happiness isn't just one thing, is it? It's a whole spectrum. You can be calmly happy, ecstatically happy, or excitedly happy. Using the same word for all of those is like trying to paint a masterpiece with only one color.
So true. Let's start with that top-tier, explosive kind of joy. Imagine you just found out you got your dream job. You wouldn't just say, I'm happy. You'd say something like, I'm on cloud 9.
Yes. On cloud 9 means you're in a state of pure bliss. The image is that you're literally floating high above all the worries of the world. Let's practice that. Repeat after me and really feel it. I'm on cloud 9.
Nice one. Now let's put it in a sentence. You could say, when she said yes, I was on cloud 9 for a week. Or, after winning the championship, the whole team was on cloud 9.
Here's another fantastic one. Very similar to on cloud 9. It's, I'm over the moon. This also means you're completely delighted about something. I always picture a cartoon character literally jumping over the moon with joy.
I love that visual. You use this for big moments. For instance, when I saw my family waiting for me at the airport, I was completely over the moon. Or a friend might ask about your new apartment and you'd say, I love it. I'm over the moon with it.
Let's get you involved. Say it out loud with Lucy, nice and proud. I'm over the moon. Feel how much more expressive that is? It's way more powerful than just happy. When was the last time you were over the moon about something? Share it in the comments below.
Okay, so that's extreme happiness. But what about that general high-energy happiness? Like when the sun is shining and you just feel great. For that, you could say you're full of the joys of spring.
I love this one. It paints such a clear picture. Think of all the energy that comes with springtime flowers blooming, birds singing. That's the feeling. It means you're cheerful and full of life.
Exactly. You might see a coworker who is unusually bouncy and say, wow, someone's full of the joys of spring this morning. Let's try it together. Say it with me, full of the joys of spring.
Now, let's talk about a different kind of happiness, contentment. This isn't about jumping around. It's a quiet, deep satisfaction. It's that warm feeling when everything is just right. A great phrase for this is, happy camper.
A happy camper is someone who is content with their situation. They have no complaints. Just picture someone camping with a warm fire and a peaceful night sky. They don't need anything else. That's a happy camper.
You can use it in so many situations. If you're on vacation and someone asks if you're enjoying yourself, you can say, oh, absolutely. I've got a good book and a comfy chair. I'm a happy camper.
Let's practice this one. Say it with me. I'm a happy camper. It has such a relaxed feel, doesn't it? And notice if you add not, it completely flips the meaning. For instance, the Wi-Fi is down and they're out of coffee. I am not a happy camper.
Great point, Lucy. Finally, let's cover excitement. When you're really looking forward to something, a fantastic, informal way to say this is, I'm pumped.
Pumped means you are energized and full of excited anticipation. It's often used for events or parties. You'd say, the concert is tonight, I'm so pumped, or are you pumped for the game this weekend?
It's very high energy. Let's try it. Say it with some force. I'm pumped. Your turn. Awesome. Another great one is, I'm stoked. It's really common in casual English and means you're intensely excited.
You might say, I'm stoked to go skiing this winter, or she's so stoked about her trip to California. It has a cool, laid-back vibe. Let's practice that one too. Repeat after me. I'm stoked.
Wow, that's a whole arsenal of happiness. We have on cloud nine and over the moon for pure joy, full of the joys of spring for energy, happy camper for contentment, and pumped or stoked for excitement.
Quick check-in. Which of these is your favorite? Try using one in a sentence in the comments. We'd love to see what you come up with.
All right. Life isn't always sunshine. It's just as important to be able to talk about the difficult feelings. Expressing sadness authentically is a huge step toward building trust and getting support from people.
Absolutely. Just saying I'm sad can feel a little simple. A much more natural phrase is, I'm feeling down in the dumps. It means you're feeling unhappy or in low spirits, usually just for a little while.
The image is of being tossed in a garbage dump. Not a nice place to be. It perfectly captures that feeling of being low and miserable. You could say, I've been a bit down in the dumps since I heard the news.
Let's practice that one. The rhythm is important. Say it with me, down in the dumps. Again, down in the dumps. A similar, very common expression is simply, I'm feeling blue.
Feeling blue or having the blues suggests a general state of sadness. It's not always tied to a huge event. Sometimes it's just a mood. For example, I always feel a bit blue when the holidays are over. Or, this gloomy weather is making me feel blue.
Let's try that one. Say it softly. I'm feeling blue. It sounds gentler than sad, doesn't it? Now, let's move to a stronger feeling, disappointment. When something truly hits you hard, you can say, your heart sank.
This is such a powerful phrase. You can literally feel your heart dropping in your chest. It describes that sudden, gut-wrenching feeling of bad news. For example, my heart sank when I opened the email and realized I didn't get the job.
Or, when she told me she was moving away, my heart just sank. It's for those moments that really get you. Let's say this one together and try to imagine that feeling. Repeat after me. My heart sank.
Hey, quick pause here. Notice how these idioms create a physical feeling? Down in the dumps, heart sank. This is what makes language so rich. It connects an emotion to a physical experience. Now, what if the bad feeling is because you have to accept an unpleasant reality? For that, we use, it's a bitter pill to swallow.
This phrase is perfect for when you have to face an unwelcome truth. Think about swallowing a bitter-tasting pill. It's not pleasant, but you have to do it. For instance, losing the contract to our competitor was a bitter pill to swallow.
Exactly. Or on a personal level, realizing he had lied to me was a bitter pill to swallow. It communicates both the pain and the necessity of accepting the situation. Let's practice. Repeat after me. A bitter pill to swallow.
Drop a comment if you've ever had to swallow a bitter pill. We've all been there. Okay, one more for this section, and it's a very common one, especially in British English. I'm gutted.
Gutted means you are extremely disappointed or devastated. The image is quite graphic, as if your insides have been removed. It conveys a deep, emotional blow. You wouldn't use this for a minor problem.
Right. You'd use it for big things. I was absolutely gutted when my flight was cancelled and I missed the wedding. Or, he was gutted when his team lost the final match. It's very strong and very authentic. Let's try it. Say it with feeling. I was gutted.
So, to recap the blues, we have down in the dumps or feeling blue for general sadness, my heart sank. For sudden disappointment, a bitter pill to swallow. For a hard truth, and gutted for when you're devastated.
All right, let's shift gears. We've done happy, we've done sad, now it's time for mad. Anger is a powerful emotion, and expressing it clearly and appropriately is a super important communication skill.
It sure is. And just saying, I'm angry, can be a little blunt. A great idiom for being visibly irritated is being hot under the collar.
This phrase paints a perfect picture. Imagine you're so mad that your neck feels hot. You're physically heated from the emotion. For example, he got really hot under the collar when the referee made that call.
Or, she gets hot under the collar whenever someone questions her work. It suggests a building up of angry energy. Let's practice that one. Say it with me. Hot under the collar. Good.
Now, what about when that anger just explodes? When you suddenly lose your temper? A brilliant idiom for that is to fly off the handle.
I love this image. It's like an axe head flying off its handle. It's sudden, uncontrolled, and kind of dangerous. It means to react with sudden, explosive anger. For instance, I'm sorry I flew off the handle. I've had a real stressful day.
It's a great way to describe an overreaction. Let's try saying it. Speed is key here. Say it quickly, fly off the handle. Now, let's talk about frustration. Sometimes you're not exploding, but you are at your absolute limit. The perfect phrase is, I'm at the end of my rope.
The image is of someone hanging from a rope, and they've reached the very end. It means you've run out of patience and can't handle a situation anymore. You'd say, with the baby crying all night and these deadlines at work, I'm at the end of my rope.
It expresses total exasperation. After trying to fix my computer for 3 hours, I'm at the end of my rope. Who's with me? Let us know if you've ever felt at the end of your rope. Let's practice it. Say it with a sigh. I'm at the end of my rope.
Now let's talk about simple annoyance. Some things aren't a big deal, but they are incredibly irritating. When something is really getting to you, you can say it's driving you up the wall.
This one is so fun to say. You can just picture someone trying to literally climb a wall to get away from the annoyance. You could say, that constant dripping noise is driving me up the wall, or his endless questions are driving me up the wall.
Let's try it. Repeat after Lucy with some real annoyance in your voice. You're driving me up the wall. Great. One last phrase for this section. For when you're so angry you can barely think straight. You can say, you see red.
This one is powerful. It means you've become so intensely angry that your vision is metaphorically clouded by the color red. For example, whenever he talks about his old boss, he starts to see red.
It implies a total loss of control due to rage. When I saw that he had scratched my car and didn't leave a note, I just saw red. Let's all say that one together. Feel the intensity. I saw red.
Phew, that's a lot of heat. So we have hot under the collar. For irritation, fly off the handle. For an outburst, at the end of my rope. For when you've had enough, driving me up the wall. For annoyance and seeing red. For pure fury.
Okay, on to an emotion that I think we're all too familiar with these days, stress. Feeling overwhelmed is such a common state, and having the right words for it can make you feel a little less alone.
That is so true. A simple, direct way to say you're busy and stressed is, I've got a lot on my plate. This doesn't literally mean food, it means you have a huge number of responsibilities or problems to deal with.
Imagine your plate at a buffet, piled so high with food you can't possibly eat it all. That's the feeling. You might say, I'd love to help out this weekend, but I've just got too much on my plate right now.
Or, at work, with the new project launch, everyone has a lot on their plate. Let's practice that. The emphasis is key. Say it with me, I've got a lot on my plate.
Now, what happens when having a lot on your plate makes you feel like you're losing control? A fantastic phrase for that is, everything's getting on top of me. This creates a powerful image of being physically crushed by your responsibilities.
It really conveys a sense of being overwhelmed and struggling to cope. For example, you could tell a friend, sorry I haven't been in touch, everything's just been getting on top of me lately. It's a very honest and vulnerable thing to say.
It really is. Let's say that one together. Repeat after Lucy. Everything's getting on top of me.
Here's another great one for feeling overwhelmed, especially when you're mentally scattered. You can say, I don't know if I'm coming or going. This means you're in a state of total confusion, usually because you're so busy.
I love this phrase. because it perfectly captures that frantic, chaotic energy. You're running in so many directions, you've lost your bearings. For instance, this week has been so hectic, I honestly don't know if I'm coming or going.
Let's try it. Say it like you're completely frazzled. I don't know if I'm coming or going. Now, what about that specific feeling of anxiety before a big event, like a presentation or an interview? The classic idiom is, I have butterflies in my stomach.
This one perfectly describes that fluttery, nervous feeling. It's a physical symptom of worry and excitement mixed together. You'd say, I always get butterflies in my stomach before I speak in public.
Or, she had butterflies in her stomach before her first date. It's such a relatable feeling. Let's all say it together. I have butterflies in my stomach. Tell us in the comments what gives you butterflies.
Alright, our final phrase here is for extreme stress. When you feel like you're about to break, you can say, I'm about to pull my hair out.
Of course, you're not literally going to pull your hair out. It's an exaggeration that means you're feeling incredibly frustrated and at your breaking point. For example, trying to assemble this furniture is making me want to pull my hair out.
It perfectly expresses that peak level of frustration. Let's practice this one with some real drama. Say it with me. I'm going to pull my hair out.
So, for stress, we now have a lot on my plate. For being busy, getting on top of me, for feeling crushed, don't know if I'm coming or going. For chaos, butterflies in my stomach. For nerves, and pull my hair out. For extreme frustration.
We're on our final section. We've covered the big ones. Happy, sad, angry, and stressed. But so much of life happens in the in-between spaces. Feelings like surprise, confusion, or just not being sure how you feel.
Yes, and those can be the hardest to express. Let's start with a big, sudden surprise. When something happens completely unexpectedly, you can say it came out of the blue.
The blue here means the clear blue sky. So something happening out of the blue is like a lightning bolt from a clear sky. A total shock. For example, I hadn't heard from her in years, then she called me completely out of the blue.
It's perfect for any unexpected event. The job offer came out of the blue, but I was thrilled. Let's practice. Repeat after me, out of the blue. A more dramatic way to talk about shocking news is to say someone dropped a bombshell.
This means to reveal shocking news that has a huge effect. Just like a real bomb, it changes everything. You could say, the meeting was going fine until the CEO dropped a bombshell and announced the company was being sold.
It definitely implies major news. She dropped a bombshell at dinner, telling everyone she was moving to Australia. Let's try saying it. Imagine you're sharing some gossip. He dropped a bombshell.
Now, let's talk about confusion. When an unexpected event doesn't just surprise you, but completely confuses you, you can say, it threw you for a loop.
This means to shock or disorient someone. Imagine being physically thrown in a loop. You'd be dizzy and unsure which way is up. That's the feeling. For instance, his sudden resignation threw everyone for a loop.
Or, I thought I understood the plan, but her last-minute changes really threw me for a loop. It's perfect for when you're left scrambling. Let's practice. Say it with a confused tone. It threw me for a loop.
What about when you're so surprised you're speechless? The perfect word for this, especially in British English, is gobsmacked.
Gobsmacked means you are utterly astonished. Your gob is an informal word for your mouth, so it's like you've been smacked in the mouth and can't speak. It's a very strong and fun word. I was absolutely gobsmacked when I found out he won the lottery.
Or, when she walked in after we all thought she was still abroad, we were just gobsmacked. Let's say it. It's a good one, gobsmacked.
Okay, for our final phrase of the day, let's talk about having mixed feelings. A great way to describe this is to say, I'm of two minds about it.
This expression clearly states your internal conflict. One mind thinks one way and the other thinks the opposite. For example, I'm of two minds about accepting the job offer. The pay is great, but it means moving to a new city.
It's a very mature and clear way to express uncertainty. She's of two minds about selling the house. It holds so many memories, but it's too big for her now. Let's practice this thoughtful phrase. Repeat after me. I'm of two minds.
And that is a wrap on our 5 categories. We have covered so much ground today.
Wow, what a journey. We started at the peak of happiness with on cloud 9, walked through the valley of sadness with down in the dumps, felt the heat of anger with flying off the handle, carried the weight of stress with a lot on my plate, and navigated the confusion of surprise with thrown for a loop.
The goal today wasn't just to give you a list to memorize. It was to hand you the tools to be a more authentic version of yourself in English. When you can share that you're gutted about bad news or stoked for a trip, you're not just speaking English, you're connecting. You're sharing a piece of your true self.
As we finish up, just remember to be patient with yourself. Learning this stuff takes time. It's normal to forget a phrase or use it in the wrong context. Every mistake is just part of the process. It's how we learn.
Exactly. The most important thing is to just start. Try to use one. Just one. The next time a friend asks how you are, instead of fine, maybe you can say, I'm a happy camper today, or honestly, I'm feeling a bit blue. See how it feels. It might just change the whole conversation.
And that brings us to our challenge for you. In the comments below, tell us, which one phrase from today's lesson will you try to use this week, and in what situation?
By writing it down, you're making a little commitment to practice, and you'll be joining a community of learners who are all on the same journey. We'll read and reply to as many comments as we can.
If this lesson helped you feel more confident, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and subscribe to Learn and Speak Easy English. It lets us know you want more lessons like this one.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. Keep practicing, keep expressing, and keep being your amazing self.
I'm Michael. See you next time.
And I'm Lucy. Talk soon, friends. Before finishing today's video, if you enjoyed this lesson, don't stop here. Watch a similar video on the left.
Or continue with the full playlist on the right to keep improving your English step by step. And if learning English feels easier here and helps you speak with confidence, subscribe to the channel for simple, practical lessons every day.